Hi, I'm Michael from Dyslexia Improvements. Today I want to chat with you about something that's super important, something that just cannot be overlooked or glossed over. Today I want to chat with you about how do I get help from school when things are not on track? How do I approach the school? What do I say? What are my expectations? What's reasonable? What's not? What do I do about the fears that I have of people basically disapproving of me? Well, firstly, if your child has got some issues, you need to go and talk to the school. It's the same as in your marriage or in your family. If there are dramas, go and talk about it. Don't just wait for things to fix themselves, because you and I both know they won't fix themselves. Now, a real key for chatting with school is make sure you book an appointment. Turning up 10 minutes before school to have what you think is going to be a 10-minute conversation is not going to work. The teacher's mind is on 12 other things, not you, not your child. In fact, the teacher's mind is probably on, how can I keep this parent happy so that I can just get on with what I need to do? So book a time with your child's teacher for after school. Let your child's teacher know that it's not a quick thing. Sort of set it up as an expectation that, I need about 20 minutes of your time. There's a few things I need to chat through. That way the teacher knows to schedule some time, so they're going to give you their full attention. Now, another thing is you must be super specific. Don't go and ask the school to help your child catch up. Go and ask them to put something in place to help your child read better. Or go and ask your school to put something in place to help your child be able to write without as much help. Go and ask the teacher what their advice is and be willing to put in the hard yards at home. If you say, look, I'm happy to help at home, tell me what I can do to support you, and be really specific. I'm worried about my child's reading. What can I do to support my child in reading? Then they will look for ways to help you. I don't know of many teachers who wouldn't be delighted to help a parent who's asking for specific help. Okay, now this one is magic, but if you take it to an extreme, it then becomes unhealthy. So you've got to be balanced with it. And that is building rapport, making sure you have a good rapport with your child's teacher. Now, the hazard with this is some parents are so obsessed with getting lots of great rapport that they won't actually ask for what they need. So we've got to be a bit balanced. People don't want to do things for you if they don't like you. I don't want to do something for you if I don't like you. You know, if you're rude to me, rude to my family, rude to me behind my back, you know, I'm not going to be much help to you. And that's just how life works. So with your teacher, make sure you start with thanking them for what they have been doing for something. I don't know, like, teacher, you're breathing really well. Keep it up. You know, just find something they're doing well. Thank you for taking the time to mark my child's homework diligently. Thank you for taking the time to send that note home last week, letting me know about this upcoming adventure that your class is going on. So really build rapport. Make sure that they know that you are on side, but don't take it to such an extent that you won't push for things when you have to. Something else you need to know is that the school and the teacher and the principal, it's not like they're up there and you're down here. That's not how it works. That was how it worked when you were in year 4. It was how it worked when you were in year 10, but you're now an adult. You're now a consumer of education as the parent, and it's the school's job to be able to provide you with what you're needing. Okay, so no more thinking, I have to be a bit nervous. The school has all the power, I don't. Or here's a gold one. What about if they take it out on my child? Like, whoa. Firstly, I think I've seen that about twice in my 12 years of teaching. Like, schools just don't take things out on kids. If anything, if the parents are high maintenance, if the parents are demanding, schools are very careful that they want to keep the kid on track. They want to keep the parent happy. So I know if I've got a child in my class who's, got a parent who's at my door every fortnight wanting to have a chat about something, I'm deliberately making sure that things are on track for that child, because I don't want to have to go through the dramas of having an upset parent. So keep in mind, when you're talking to the school, you're the consumer, you're on equal footing with them, and to not be intimidated and not be worried about your own reputation, not be worried about how the school views you. Who cares how they view you? Your goal is to get for your child what they need. Now, something else, parents often get to this point with teachers where they've made some requests, things have been promised to them, and it just hasn't happened. And that's where you've got to start to go, okay, using good rapport hasn't exactly worked. We're actually going to have to take things to the next level. So don't be afraid to chat with your principal, chat with your deputy principal about issues. Try to avoid chatting with middle management. I don't know if your school has like a head of section, head of junior. Avoid that. Those people don't have the authority they need to make decisions, especially when it comes to funding. Okay, you want to be talking to the people who've got the authority to make decisions. And when you do talk to the principal and when you do talk to the deputy, you don't want to go in there angry. You just want to go in there knowing ahead of time, I'm going to explain about this and this and this, write it down, and just have a chat with them. Just say, look, we thought this would work. It didn't really work. Where do you think we should go from here? Another thing that you really need to know about chatting with your child's teacher is your child's teacher is a human being. Your child's teacher is a person with needs and wants and desires just like you and I. And your child's teacher could be going through a divorce, they could be worried about their own sick kid at home. Your child's teacher could just be going through a really tough time in life. So we can't have the assumption that our child's teacher is going to get it right all the time. Our job is to communicate with the child's teacher, be deliberate about making sure we're following through on steps that we've chatted about with the child's teacher. And our job is to hold the teacher accountable if need be, if they're clearly not delivering on what they said. But keep in mind, they're a person, they've got things in their own world, and when you're chatting with them, you don't want to let loose with anger and stuff like that. You just want to be addressing problems as you go. You don't want to be creating new ones by getting angry. And I'm going to let you in on one of the most important things you need to know. And I hope you put this on Facebook. I hope you tell every man his dog about this tip, because it's important for when you're dealing with schools. Do not let your school plonk you onto this wait and see sort of situation of, oh, we'll see how things go. Bad. Danger. It's like kryptonite to Superman. Do not get stuck in that spot. If things are not on track now, well, waiting is not going to help. You've got to actually make some changes, make some interventions, make some things happen that are different from what hasn't been working. And while we're on that, do not under any circumstances let your school put you onto this paperwork channel of, oh, we're not actually going to change things, we're just going to give you 1 million forms to fill out, and then we're going to fill out 1 million forms, and then we're going to send them off and put your child on this big long waiting list and not actually take action. In a lot of Western countries, the culture is to try and hide behind paperwork so we don't have to take responsibility for actually making a decision. So when your child's school says, yeah, do all this paperwork and we'll do this paperwork and here's an individual learning plan and all that stuff, it's like, yep, that's great, that's the paperwork, and what are the specific actions that we need to take? What do I need to do at home for my own child? What can I do to help? What are you going to put in place in the classroom? And how are we going to hold our child accountable? How are we together, school and home, how are we going to work together to make sure this works? And so the end result of just implementing these sort of things, and a lot of it's sort of pretty straightforward, you know, when you think about it, you're like, yeah, why didn't I think of that before? But it works. I've worked in schools for 12 years and I can tell you straight out, schools want to help your child. You give them the tools, you approach them in the right way, and you hold them accountable if need be, and you'll get the results you need. I'm Michael Clark from dyslexiaimprovements.com. If you have any questions, just leave them at the bottom of this video and I'll do my best to answer them.